Brett, who is your garbage person of the week?
For my garbage person of the week, I actually agree with Donald Trump. Donald Trump declared his garbage people of the week are the billionaire tech dudes who are now, well, let me just let him say what he has to say about them.
Follow your own instincts. But if your vision is right, nothing will hold you down. Nothing. If you look at some of these internet people, I know so many of them. Elon is so terrific. But I know now all of them, they all hated me in my first term. And now they're kissing my ass, do you know? It's true. All of them.
Yes, Donald Trump took aim at the very people who are, quote, kissing his ass. Seen in this photo that you may have seen before, wildly now iconic. These were at Donald Trump's inauguration. Behind him, he was flanked by billionaires who, were at one point accused of censoring right-wingers, at other times working against Donald Trump's interests and being wildly corrupt. Now they're just kissing his ass. It's weird that he kind of says that Elon's nice, because Elon is also kissing his ass, but it really, for me, crystallizes the most garbagey thing, which is there is this weird temptation we have to pick a good billionaire versus a bad billionaire. This one's on our side, that one's not. But if we've learned nothing, we should know what Donald Trump himself knows, which is they are going to do whatever they need to do to further their own personal ego and business interests, period. And that's what I got out of that. But that at Donald Trump's same speech, he said something also garbagey, which I could not let go without highlighting. So take a look at this.
There was never a businessman that won a presidential election. Out of 100%, 8% were generals and 92% were politicians. Not even admirals, not even just generals. There are 8 generals: General Washington, General Grant. But you have a natural instinct for things. I guess I had a natural instinct. I said to somebody, was I a better businessman or politician? And they said, well, there are a lot of guys that made a lot of money, but there's only one guy that became president that was a businessman. So I guess you're a better politician, but I don't think of myself as a politician. I think of myself as a businessman, and I'm proud of that. And I've applied business instinct, and that's why I think you're seeing us doing so well.
There's a lot that's so amazing, not the least of which is him talking about George Washington like he was some kind of underachiever, being a general of the army and not the admiral of the army, except for one thing: there are no admirals in the army.
Because they don't work hard enough.
No, because there's no admirals. There is admirals in the Navy and the Coast Guard, but there's no admirals in the army. But then again, why would Donald Trump know that? He's just the commander-in-chief of the military. Can you imagine if someone else said something like that? I can't believe that General Ulysses S. Grant wasn't an admiral. That would be really impressive. Yeah, it would be really impressive because he would have to have been in a different part of the military or served for a fictional rank that they do not give to people, period. It's insane. And then also he's saying that he's doing so well, except for the statistics. As we can see in these reports, United States, under Trump, stocks have the worst start to a presidential term since 1974. The US economy shrinks as Trump's tariffs spark recession fears. So we're not doing so well because of your business acumen. In fact, every decision you've made business-wise, you've had to walk back because of how obvious a failure each decision was. And then even further than that, in that same snippet I just played, he said he's the only businessman to ever become president of the United States. No, he's not. Time magazine reports there are 6 other businessmen who went on to become president of the United States, including Warren G. Harding, who was a newspaper publisher, Herbert Hoover, who was a mining magnate who owned like Burmese silver mines, Harry Truman, mining and oil investor and a haberdasher, Jimmy Carter was a farmer, H.W. Bush and his son were both oil men, and W. Bush was an MLB managing partner. These were all, quote, businessmen. The only difference is that they got into a lower level of politics first than you, but you were able to sail over that because you are in one quite exclusive category with only one other president. You're a celebrity. You had name recognition because you're a celebrity, and it took until the 1980s for us to be as celebrity obsessed as we are now to put you in the same category as your fellow TV and movie personality, Bedtime for Bonzo star Ronald Reagan. You were on The Apprentice. Garbage.
They are different in that Reagan seems to like animals and Trump does not, I suppose. Yeah. Imagine like it's your commencement and that's the speech you're getting.
I would have been loved it.
No, well, okay, I wouldn't. Just him just desperately talking. Like, lots of people like me. They didn't used to, but now they have to say that they like me. And I'm very impressive, everyone. Did you know this? Out of 100%, which is always what I take percentages out of for stuff like this. That I did stuff that nobody's done. I was a great businessman. I was a great politician. He's 1,000 years old. He's been surrounded by lackeys and sycophants and people kissing his ass for literally decades. And he still needs to brag to a bunch of kids that just want to go party. And some of them like him. It's Alabama. I'm sure plenty of them are Republicans or whatever. And that's the thing that depresses me the most is that we have to listen to this pathetic guy. He is just a gaping void of need, walking around, desperately wanting people to cheer for him, basically ordering them to. And many still like it. The only other thing I want to say is I'm just so ready for us to be done with him. I'm so tired of it, Brett. I'm so tired of seeing his stupid face. I'm so tired of seeing him project all of his weaknesses and inadequacies. And I'm tired of, being reminded that not everyone in America sees this as a disgusting waste of time, an opportunity cost on all of us, on our society and our government and our economy. And I'm just so ready for him to be gone, either from office once again or just dead. I'm ready for him to just keel over. He's an old man. He's never seemed to care about his health. Can we just get to the fun part finally? We had 2018, we had 2020. Those were good times. He tried to overthrow the government. It was a pathetic failure. That was great. I'm just ready for it to be over and for us to never have to think about him again.
If you enjoyed that, then make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming a member. So you're probably wondering, why would I do that? Well, when you do that, you get access to bonus content that I make every single week, and it's a lot of fun. You get custom emojis and more. If you join at tier 3, by the way, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself. And you'll get all that going forward, but you'll also unlock years of the back catalog that is literally 100 or more bonus clips and top 10 lists and debates and more. So what are you waiting for?